Hello everyone, Empire Baron here. Welcome back. This is part 3 of this excellent game that has so far been such an epic matchup. We have been watching Orktastic just be able to macro out units so quick. He has this near infinite economy and he is just keeping the pressure on. And look, Braidon mismanaged those ballistas and they got wiped out in the first volley of ballista shells. This whole unit is going to get slaughtered for Orktastic, but they did do a little bit of damage here. And he's got a couple more fortresses going up, and he is just able to get a military so fast. I mean, this forces get so big so quick, but we are seeing a little bit of pressure here in the south. These Padromos of Braidon are doing a number on all of these stables. You'll see how quick that those stables go down. And the fortresses are raining arrows down on those Padromos, but it's just not enough. And here we are. Braidon is putting pressure on with these ballistas. Let's see how Orc responds to the first major attack by these Peltas against his city. So these Gastras and ballistas are raining missiles down and getting nice range. Wow, Orc dealt with that nice. He slaughtered most of those forces for Braidon. I'm not sure if there was Peltas in that force. We will see if Braidon had kept those Peltas in. There was quite a bit of Series, and I think some Peltas. Let's see how Braidon managed that attack and how this counterattack will be, how successful this counterattack will be. You'll see the points for Braidon are dropping dramatically. He's losing resources and buildings, and let's see now. No defense for Braidon. And here comes the Padromos. Here comes the Padromos. And more Padromos coming in from the north. Going to do a surround on these Padromos of Orktastic. And then the Padromos for Braidon are going to move in nicely and engage these archers. And then push back and engage the ballistas. Perfect defense by Braidon. That's how you need to do it. Get the surround, flank the military on all the sides, take them out as fast as you can do it, get to those ballistas as fast as you can because those are going to cause damage on your economy. And we see Braidon is going up and finishing off these couple stables in the north here. And now we're seeing some ballistas are completely out of position for Orktastic, and they are just going to get slaughtered. And now we're seeing some this fortress go down. Look how quick that fortress goes down to those Padromos. Those fortresses, yes, they do give out a lot of damage when they're clumped together nice. It can be a good defense, but you get a surround on a fortress and you will be able to take it down quick. And we are seeing a couple Padromos break through the line and are going to get a peek at the army. And a couple more of these ballistas are left undefended. More ballistas undefended. Oh my goodness. That is devastating at that point for Orktastic because that is so many resources he lost. Now we're seeing Peltas come in and go after houses, and we're seeing we're seeing Padromos come in, engage the Padromos. Lots of Peltas are really trying to do a number, but man, Orktastic's units are just so strong. They get us around and they just slaughter the units of Braidon. A couple Peltas made it through and broke through the lines and are going to try to deal a little bit of economical damage here to Orktastic, but really they're going to get cleaned up pretty quick. So now we are back in a stalemate again. We've seen attacks and counterattacks and attacks and counterattacks, and we're seeing another little ambush here for Braidon. And Orc is now going to macro out and lay down a bunch more of these military buildings. And Braidon is pushing these Padromos in, but they are running into just so many fortresses. They are trying to find a place where they are not getting rained down on by arrows, and there is just not many places that are like that. All right, so this rather large force for Orktastic is moving down the map at the same time that he's getting rushed in the back of his base. I think he's kind of relying on those fortresses and maybe a couple new fresh units to go in and clean up those, you'll see, yeah, these Prodromos are still causing quite a ruckus. No other units are doing it, and he's content to move down the map with his force. Maybe he says, Braidon is distracted, and I have the economy. He's been running caravans and so many villagers for so long that he's got to have a surplus of resources at this point. Yeah, he's been throwing a lot of resources at these attacks. And here we are. We're seeing an attack here by Orktastic, and he's able to move pretty far into the base, and those ballistas are on the high ground doing a lot of damage down on these stables and houses. And now these ballistas for Orc are forced to move to the low ground, and on the low ground they are going to get engaged by Prodromos finally, who are going to be able to clean them up for Braidon. He's going to be able to stop this attack. A couple buildings were lost. Not much damage done there for Orc. Orc does not seem to be going too much after the economy, more after military buildings. And Braidon seems to be going after the economy. And here we are, Prodromos coming in, and for Braidon are going to be able to clean up the Prodromos for Orktastic, which he outnumbered by double at least. And we're seeing now these Prodromos are going to come back home because they don't want to get... He doesn't want to lose too much of his economy, because here's some Prodromos coming in and are going to try to take out this town center here. And then he is going to run past the town center now, and he's going to take out what I believe is a fortress building there. And then clean, yep, there he goes, takes out the fortress. He's going to clean up some of this farmland here, undefended farmland. He's finally found a spot that isn't just covered by fortresses. And now he's going to push through. I think Braidon's found a little bit of a gap in Orktastic's defense here. One at least. And now we see that Braidon has mismicroed a little force here and has just walked it right through a group of Prodromos who are just slaughtering all of those ballistas. That is such a blow, because those ballistas, like I said before, are so expensive, and you really want to try to get some use out of them before they get slaughtered like that, because there's so many fortresses right now that it's coming to the point that Braidon is going to have a difficult time breaking through this unless he can get some ballista on fire in range of those fortresses. We're seeing a very large Prodromos force for Braidon now moving up the map, and we're seeing these forces of Orc, little patrolling forces, kind of just moving around the map trying to find a way into Braidon's base to do some damage. More unguarded ballistas for Orktastic are going to get completely destroyed here and dismantled by Braidon. Braidon is moving up the map to what looks like an undefended part other than some fortresses, and we're seeing these Prodromos break through the line and get at that market. They are going to take out that market for Braidon, and he is just getting pushed ever so further back into that corner. Now we're seeing that Prodromos force, they did some damage to the buildings, and then now they lost their life, and we're seeing now Braidon go back at the economy again, and he is sending a couple units more to their death to these fortresses, because just look at the amount of fortresses there. That is just insane. We have just seen such strong play from both these players. I mean, look at this really epic defense setup, using those fortresses, spacing them pretty well, and now just a constant force of Prodromos. It's so interesting to see in this late game. Prodromos, Prodromos, Prodromos. The Hippocans haven't been as big of a part of it, and let's see how it goes from there. We saw a couple battering rams there. That's a strange move. I don't know if that was a misclick from Braidon or what. And we are seeing some Prodromos come in here for Orc and really be able to do a number, because there is a bunch of Prodromos for Braidon in the back of Orc's base. So now it's a base war here where they're just going at each other's military buildings. And no, it seems that Orc has gone after these a couple units in the middle, and now has lost a town center. And before this is going to get cleaned up, well, not quite cleaned up yet. We're seeing, well, a town center didn't go down. Wow, that was close to going down. We saw a town center go down for Orktastic. He almost took one down himself, wasn't able to. And I think Braidon came out ahead, because Braidon still has forces in this. back line of of Orc's base here. Now he got that town center down, so let's see if Orc rebuilds it or if he is just going to be content with having a little bit less population. All right, so those Prodromos are really causing a problem. And now we're seeing an attack coming on from the front here. So Braidon put some pressure on in the back. Those units got a little bit out of position, and now he is able to do some more house damage here. So the population max of Orktastic has got to be severely limited. We saw another town center did go up, though, in the very south of his base. But some of these houses were destroyed, and some of these Prodromos are going to try to break through the line and do some more economical damage. But I just don't think there was enough there for Orc, and Braidon was able to counter it. So we are just continuing on with this game. We are almost at the 1 hour mark, 56 minutes. That is insane. We knew that there was a chance because, yes, we are on a 2v2 map. We knew there was a chance at one really epic game, and this has proven to be it because these players just have so much space to expand. We are seeing the full capabilities of this great game, and I really hope that Microsoft listens and makes some of the changes that really need to happen to this game. Observer mode is one of them, and I think so far it is though proven out to be so great. I've enjoyed playing beta. We're sad to see beta end, but in the same time, this is a great way to end it with battles like this. Look at that battle between Prodromos and Prodromos. It looks like though Braidon has the advantage. Some hoplites are coming in, and Braidon has the advantage of reinforcements who are just going to really be able to clean up Orc's forces. But that was just such a huge force on either side going at it. We're seeing some walls going up, a double wall going up. Orc is just getting ready to sit back for this late game, and he's putting those walls up just so that he buys himself a little bit of time. Those Prodromos are really fast, and they can respond to where he's moving them quickly. But at the same time, he needs to have a little bit of time so he doesn't lose all these buildings that he's losing. So he builds the walls to really give himself some time, because there you go. We see, he microed those ballistas wrong, and he sent them out of the gates a little bit too far. Maybe he didn't realize there was an attack coming on, but it didn't do much damage nonetheless. Braidon was forced to retreat and is doing a little bit of a damage here on the south side. You see how it gives it gives Orc just a little bit of time to respond to the attack. He's now following up these Prodromos who are going to get through and maybe do some economical damage, but a rather large force for Orktastic is moving down the map. We're seeing 6 ballistas and a bunch of archers and Prodromos, and let's see if that force is enough to do some more damage to Braidon here. It feels like Orc is whittling Braidon away slowly but surely, because it seems like Braidon is kind of cornered there, and we're seeing this force of Prodromos for Braidon caught a little bit off guard and are forced to retreat, and a couple hoplites are in there, going to get caught in the fire, and let's see if Orc is able to keep this push up. Those Prodromos are hiding behind those trees there, and we're seeing 6 ballistas are now going to start raining fire down and sieging this city, putting siege down on this city. These Prodromos are marching in the front, and we're seeing an alley in the corner that allowed Braidon to march up and really just rush at the ballistas, and with that he is going to be able to completely dismantle almost this entire force here. 2 of those ballistas did go down, and we are seeing, all right, everyone, we will see what happens at the end of that battle. It was equal. Thanks for watching part 3, and check out part 4 after this.